Hello everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner, and I am going to do a collection video. I've never done a full collection video, and I'm still not going to. I got to do this in parts. I love collection videos. I love to watch those. When they get to be like an hour long or something like that, I always break it up anyway. I mean, I'll watch like 15 minutes at a time or something, and I'll keep coming back to it. I usually finish it out, but because I love to see all the different knives that people have in their collection. I just find it interesting. Being a collector myself, you know, what kind of knives are people drawn to? And for me, it's a collecting that's been over many, many years. I've mentioned before, I don't sell my knives. Not that I have any problem with it, not that I just haven't done it. I've given some away over time, but for the majority of the knives that I bought are still in my possession, and I'm over 200 now in the collection. So doing all 200 at one time, the way I ramble, you know how that is. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to try my best to get these through. I'm starting out, I thought I'd do this one kind of different than I've seen anybody else do it. Not that, you know, maybe somebody has. I'm going to start with the cheaper ones to the more expensive ones. I have my spreadsheet I keep. I have prices on it. I'm able to sort by price. I'm able to filter by, you know, everything under a price. So I'm using my my spreadsheet to kind of put this thing together. Let's get into it. First one, cheapest one that I have. Well, I don't know if you can call it cheapest or best value or what it is. Well, I don't know if this is the best value. This is the Ozark 12, Ozark Trail, starting out good. 7-inch folding knife. What a great name. It's a liner lock. It's stainless steel. That's the only information I can get on it. Stainless steel. It's a drop point, polymer. Handles. I got this one, I won it on a giveaway, and I wasn't unhappy about it because I really have seen these at Walmart many times. And being that I collect knives, I always was curious what they'd be like. I'm not necessarily disappointed, but I wouldn't necessarily buy this knife either on my own. Winning it was great. But yeah, action is really nothing there. It'll cut, obviously. It's got the one position clip, tip down. Not my favorite. But I'm okay with it. I'll live with it. But like I say, not my favorite knife. Ozark Trail. The price on this that I got at the time that I put in the collection was like $5.94. Wow, that's really cheap. So first knife. Second knife. We're getting into a company that I never really knew about. Now, this was given to me from somebody who was cleaning out their tools and stuff, so I was able to find this in there, and you know, it didn't cost me anything, but the person I got it from is a relative, and they do a lot of woodworking and schmutz, and Woodcraft apparently is one of those companies that has a lot of woodworking stuff, so I'm sure this got either thrown in with something that he purchased or something like that, but it's just a little lockback. Not so bad. I don't know much about it. Looks like bone handle. This also is 440 stainless. At least it has a little more information. And it is called the Sarge. So it actually has a name. So that's kind of cool. So there you go. There's the Sarge. That's coming in at $13.95 on the website. Next one I got here, we're going into Rough Riders. And this one, I think you're going to know why I bought this one. Look at that guy. Anybody that was around when this thing was the big deal? Angry Watermelon. It came originally not called the Angry Watermelon. It was something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they did do the finish on there, the watermelon finish, when everybody started calling it the Angry Watermelon. And it is a tiny little guy. Fun. I got it because I just needed to have it. Price on that one was $14.99. Next. Another Rough Rider. This is definitely a more sizable knife. and I saw this on Big Red's, and this is the first one in the collection, in this part of the collection that I actually purchased. I saw this on Big Red's channel, and I thought, wow, look at that thing. That's a big traditional, not quite slip joint, because it does have this liner lock, but yeah, it's like a traditional, and it's nice and big. It's got that blue jean micarta, and Rough Rider's got good quality. I mean, for when you come down to these cheap prices, this is also $14.99. To get this much knife for that price is impressive to me, and I would buy it again, because I mean, it's just a knife that I can use. It's got the great size. Definitely worth the money in my point of view. Next, we got another $14.99 knife, and it's another Rough Rider. This one is the Bow Trapper. There you go. So we're seeing that Rough Rider that I found out later on, the matchstick nail nick. I guess that you can strike a match on it. I think that's what the whole thing is about it. But it looks cool. I think it's a nice little feature in these inexpensive knives. It's got this nice, I think, let's see what we got for handle. It's micarta, but it's very, very slick. This is one of the few upswept knives, mild upswept, but I don't have a lot in my collection. But it also has that down sweep on the handle, which a lot of my knives have. I like that. For me, that makes it really good for the cutting. The little slim blade, yeah, great knife. Another one that I bought and was happy to get for that price. Next one, it's another $14.99. No, we're moving on up. Moving up. Oh no, it is another $14.99. I'm sorry. And we just saw this one. Just saw this one on one of my most recent videos, so I don't really have to go in too much on it. But it is the Old Timer. It's the Mighty Mite. It also has that little liner lock, tiny little knife. Bought it just to kind of scratch an itch, 15 bucks, and I'm glad to have it. Very cool. Next one. Now we're getting into, this is a Rosecraft. So a company that's not known to be, I mean, I guess they do have some under 30, but it's not known for them to be quite in that price range. They're a little bit more, but a little bit extra good quality from Rosecraft. I really like them. I got this one actually for free. It was at one of the shows, and it was Andy Armstrong's wife. I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but she's super nice, and we got to talking. And she threw it in when I bought some other stuff, and she threw this one in. It's very cool. It's called the Awana. Let's see. Now, I don't know if I said this is called the Work Knife, and I guess they have a couple that are called the Work Knife. And then this one was the Mighty Mite. I think I mentioned that. This one is the Awanata. Awanata. Okay, that's what it's called. Tiny little knife. Definitely good for a keychain, because it's got that little lanyard thing that could easily be keychainable. Because it's so small. It has this cool purple G10 on it. Good snappiness to it. Half stop. Very nice. I mean, really good. And it comes price-wise at $19.99. $19.99. All right. So we're moving on. I think I'm doing good. I think I got a pretty decent pace. Trying not to be too quick, but also not dwell too long on each knife, because there's so many. All right. So here it is. I should have seen this one right away. Look at that beauty. Now, this one I bought pretty early in my knife buying, when I started wanting to carry a knife at work and thought, I got to get some small knives. So I was getting these on Amazon, and this one is the MTech MTA88 2CH. You know, I'm not a big fan of those kinds of names. I'll never remember it if I don't have my spreadsheet. That's part of the reason why I have it. This is an assisted. Look at that mirror edge, mirror blade, I mean. So, you know, so I saw this on there. This is very early. I didn't know that much about Imtech knives, but I saw it, and at the time, the price tag was $20.24. So not too painful to buy, and since it was early, it meant more price-wise for me. Now this is considered very cheap in my collection. You could use this guy as a tension getter and a lanyard, and you also got that the bottle opener. So there you go. Assisted. We're also talking tip down on this one. It's actually a frame lock. That's probably a steel frame. Let's see what other stats we have. Stainless steel. There's another generic. And yeah, it's a flipper only and assisted. Tip down. So Imtech. And next we got the Smith & Wesson. So I see Smith & Wesson before really knowing that much about their knives, and I always think, hey, Smith & Wesson, that's a pretty well-known name. And this one, again, this is when I was buying tiny knives. So looking at it next to the Owenata or the Imtech, you can see what we're dealing with. Tiny little knives. And this blade on this one is kind of cool. I keep this one actually on my backpack, and doesn't it look like a money clip? You can throw some dollars in there and just use it as a money clip. It also has that bottle opener, and not assisted. Look at that blade. Isn't that interesting? We're talking about HCR 13 MOV, so we're getting some name brand blade steel here. G10 handles, nice red on the pivot. Tiny little blade, so it's hard to, you really kind of have to give it a little wrist to get it to pop out, because it's just so little weight on it. But yeah, it's called the Benji, so it's got a name. So we're upgrading as we go. It's going to be interesting to see the transition from the least expensive to the most expensive throughout my collection. So there you go, the Benji. All right, what's next? We got, this one's a Spyderco. Yeah, but not your normal Spyderco. In fact, I have to go grab it. Hang on a second. The reason I had to go grab it is because it's on my keychain, and it's on the key hook next to the door. And here it is, the Bug. Very cool. This one is like a steel handle, $21. And it actually doesn't have a half stop, but it's a slip joint, and it's a little schmutzy. Let's try to clean it off a little bit. Being on the keychain, it just, it gets the most pocket time. It's always in my pocket. Yeah, it'll cut little threads. I have cut with it. I've used it as a fallback, or just because, hey, why don't I just, this tiny little cut I need to make, why don't I just use this knife, because I don't use it that often. But it's always with me, so it's good to have. This is the Bug from Spyderco. We're talking about a 3CR 13 MOV steel, drop point, stainless steel handle, and that's the Bug. All right, next one is my other knife that's on my other keychain. This is my house keychain, work keychain. It's got more keys to it. The other one was just my car keychain. So I got the key bar here, which I love. Very cool. Got more gadgets on this one hanging down. And I do have a classic SD. This is actually the only Swiss Army knife in my collection. You've all seen these. We got the file. The knife, which doesn't get used very often, the file gets used way more, and the most used probably on this whole thing is the scissors, which you know, are great one-handed operation. Also, you got the tweezers, which I've had. Those are original. And for the longest time, I didn't have my toothpick. Didn't really miss it. Don't really use it that much, but I decided I wanted to get one, so I bought one of these multi-pack. I probably get like a dozen of them from Amazon, so I could fill that little spot. You can see it's obviously worn. I kind of thought about maybe replacing the scales on this thing. Not sure I want to do it or not. This one, the price I got on the spreadsheet, $21.69. All right, moving along. We got CRKT. I did buy a lot of CRKTs towards the beginning of my collecting. This was pretty early, actually, for me. I was kind of more thinking of this as back when I bought this, which is, I know it was back when I was with my ex-wife, and so they were talking about 10, 12 years ago. But I'm thinking tactical at that time. I wanted to have a knife that I carry in my pocket. Wasn't carrying it to work necessarily, but you know, just to have walking around and such. And I was thinking tactical, so you got that serration and a nice, pretty tactical knife. This, one of the things that really drew me to this was the G10 with that grip. So you can see the texture on that thing. It's not too rough, but definitely very grippy. It also does have a little lock thing. I don't really use that so much, you know, so you lock it and you can't close it. So you can kind of treat it like a fixed blade in that position. But anyway, not something I use too much. The clip can be tip up, tip down. It's a very wide clip, but at the time I didn't have much experience, so I didn't really know that much about it. Got speed holes, which I'm not a big fan of, but it didn't really bother me so much at the time. I just wanted something that that I could flick out. It's on Teflon washers, not my favorite, but it does flick out. You really can't do the reverse flick on it because it's so close to the scale here, but I can get it with a thumb, so that's okay. And action's not great. You know, a lot of times I'll just do that kind of closing, especially with ones that won't drop. I just kind of push with the index and bring it in with the thumb. Works great. I'm kind of used to it. Cool knife. Nice weight to it. Steel on this guy is at ACR 13 MOV. Didn't know what that meant back then, but it's been worked great. I mean, it still probably could use to be sharpened, definitely. Yeah, I'm not feeling much of an edge. But the serrations are still sharp. So that's it. That's the this one is called the Cruiser. The Cruiser. Gotta remember to name those names. The next one, Cold Steel. This one is probably one everybody will recognize. It's the Tough Light by Cold Steel. And yeah, I was in a Cold Steel phase, kind of into everything they're doing. I don't like these handles. One of my least favorite. It's just called a polymer, but it's very hollow kind of feeling and doesn't feel very strong. But it's a back lock, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that. I can actually, it took the longest time before I can actually do anything with this one-handed. It was just very hard to break in. Still doesn't necessarily flick out real easy on that hole, but I can do it with a little bit of wrist. Nice grip, nice ergos on it. It feels, actually, this handle, other than that plastic feel, which I can't get over, it feels really good. It just locks in those two fingers. I actually do like finger grooves. I really haven't found too much trouble with the. A lot of people say, "Oh, it forces my finger somewhere where I don't want it to be," and I don't really normally have a problem with that. I wouldn't buy this one again. This may end up in a giveaway sometime. I mean, it's a great knife, and doesn't get carried too much. So, Tough Light from Cold Steel. Next, Boker. This is one that I saw on a video, and I can't even remember whose it was, years ago, and I just thought it was cool. Doesn't really look like a knife, so it's kind of when I started getting into that whole more of a collector. This so early on, and when I started collecting, where I just wanted different kinds of knives, unusual knives. Definitely an unusual knife. This one is called the Little Egg. L''egg. Little egg, or just leg, almost like leg. Anyhow, the way it opens, it's got a magnet. So you can see the magnet there. And it just kind of pivots out like that. Tiny little knife. Obviously, it's a necklace. It's kind of fun to wear sometimes, you know, just to have another knife, you know. I like carrying knives. You run out of pocket space. Hey, I'll throw one around the neck. So it's kind of cool. It's not the best looking necklace really so much, but and I don't know about the legality in California. They get a little weird about things they consider quote unquote concealed. But I don't know. I really don't think any police officer is going to get too riled up about something like this. And you know, I don't carry it all the time. I'm not a big knife guy, but every once in a while. Okay, Little Egg. Moving on. Effingro. When I first started watching a lot of videos, Effingros just look cool. And so this one, let me make sure I'm getting the right one. I think this is it. Yeah, I think it's the only Effingro. So this one I think I saw on Bees' channel. It's got this wild, and like I say, as a collector early on, I just wanted to kind of get different kind of knives. It's a wild kind of look. The blade is pretty wild. The grinds on it, you get that recurve back here, that tanto with the swedge. It just looks cool. The EF doesn't look cool, but that doesn't bother me too much. Yeah. So I looked at that, going, and the price on this one, I didn't say the Little Egg, that was $24.95. Sorry if I missed some information that I'm going through here. The Tough Light was $22. I'm you know, always kind of all over the place. But that handle kind of looks cool. I did try to take this apart at one point, and this was early on. I didn't know about Loctite and heating it up, so I ended up stripping out that pivot. And it was actually loose for a while, where it's just kind of rattling. So what I did to kind of, since this was stripped out, I actually cut with a file and made it a flathead. It doesn't look good. All that anodized got all effed up there. But anyway, the action's pretty good, actually. Effingros are not bad knives. If you get over the fact that they do a lot of copying-ish. And then I guess early on, some of the steel, this is D2, was questionable, but they seem to have kind of pulled out of that. I've never really had a problem with this one. That is the Effingro EF936. Yeah, G10 handles. And moving on. Next on the list, this is one you have seen a lot if you watch my channel. If not, I was really surprised by this one. This is the Canyon from Revo Knives. I got this one for free. Bought a couple of vault cases, and they threw it in with it. It's a butt lock. This one is a 4CR 13 MOV, and I was going on and on about how I thought this thing was going to get so dull so fast. And then I started saying, well, I'll cut with it for a while, and then when it gets dull, I'll sharpen it to see how easy it is to sharpen. That's what I've kind of heard, that the knives that are softer, like a 4CR, would sharpen up easy. So I kind of wanted to experience that for myself. But it took forever to sharpen or to get dull, so I kind of gave up on it. Recently, I've gotten a lot more cutting with it. This is actually probably sharper than this Cruiser right now. Even though I'm pretty much ready to do that video. It kind of tears through paper a little bit. So I'll be doing that sharpening video pretty darn soon. Revo Canyon, Feels good in the hand. I like the shape of the knife. It's kind of Nest mucky. I don't like the billboarding, but it's not a big deal for me. Comfortable in the hand. Cuts well. It really cuts well, actually, with this kind of hollow. Moving on. Next on my list, it's the, here's one to pronounce, the Higo no Kami. Higo no Kami. And it's just called the folding knife. That's this one right here. Let's see, it's starting to get a patina. I did a video on this one when I first got it, and it was nice and shiny. It's definitely getting some patina, which is not a problem for me. I kind of like when the knives get kind of worn in over time. But you can see brass, kind of brass sheet metal folded over to be the scales. So I guess you can call that an integral, right? But this is a friction folder. So, you know, the action is going to be kind of dragging it through. And you have this little tab here that you can hold on to when you're cutting with it that keeps it open. So it's kind of nice. And you can roll it out with it. Obviously, the folded sheet metal is not the most comfortable, but it's not super uncomfortable. I like the blade shape. It's pretty cool. It's hanging in there. It's definitely a carbon steel blade. Just got to keep it wiped down. And I just like the look of it. It's very Japanese, and it is made in Japan. Very Japanese style. All this Japanese writing on here that I don't know what it says. But, yeah, it's cool. I got a nice, keeping a slip, throw it in the pocket. It's a good knife. That one was $25. The steel on this one is what they call blue paper steel, and that's something that's a Japanese thing, I think. So anyway, that is the Higo no Kami folding knife. We're moving on. Massillon. This one was something I saw on Bees' channel. This is early on, so I had never gotten a titanium handled knife, and obviously this was affordable. I hadn't had the frag. The frag was really big back then. I didn't have anything with frag, but it is just tiny as heck. Let's see. Oh yeah, the action's not too bad. I'm able to actually, you have to use a little bit of wrist. And the blade shape is really not that bad because it's that sheep's foot. Nice big flipper on it. I don't believe you can use the holes. Let's see. Yep, I proved myself wrong. You can use the holes. This is a D2 blade, so the steel's nothing to write home about, but it is titanium. I don't know what kind of titanium, maybe a low quality. $25. $25 for this knife. Amazon, buy. Yeah, no problem. Put it in the collection. It's just one of those oddity type things. And that's fun. CRKT, we're back to the CRKT. I love this knife. This is one of my favorites from CRKT. It's the Squid. This is one that I would buy again. I think I'd get this one. I just have a fond place in my heart for this one because this is so early in my knife buying. But the Squid is when I was buying those little smaller knives. This one was $25 as well. Great action with the thumb studs. No flipper on this one. Steel scales. Feels good in the hand. Small, but I can actually, when I choke up on this flat right here, since it doesn't have a flipper, it feels really good. I don't care. I don't hold it like that. I hold it up here. That's how I hold it. Tiny little blade. I like more blade length, but for a tiny little knife, it's solid. I really actually do like this. I like the finish on it. Yeah, I mean, I really do like it. It's a Burnley design. What do we got on specs? So this one is the Squid frame lock, 18CR, 13 MOV, spear point, stainless steel handles. Pretty cool. I'd recommend that one. All right, Sativian. Now we're getting some Sativians. I think we have a couple in here. Let me make sure I get the right one, because these are the numbered ones, but they put it on the blade at least. Yes. So it's the Sativian ST. Get the focus on the blade or not. Yeah, well, one of these days I'll have to get a better camera. I'm just using my phone. Anyway, it's the ST126 liner lock Sativian. Not sure if I bought this one or it was a giveaway. I think I bought this one. It's D2 steel. Pretty cool. It's got that nice little cutout here. You can use it for the flick, drop point, G10 handles, and this is that good texture G10. Seems like yeah, the small writing doesn't really come out, but at least when I'm holding up, I can get pretty good focus on the texture. That G10, you can see it. It definitely has that good grippiness like you get with a Kubi or something like that. So Sativian, this one was $27.99. It's kind of hard to, you know, pass up a knife like that. I mean, because it's the size that I like, the grip that I like, can hold the whole thing in my hand. Some jimping up here, pretty good. Jimping on the flipper is not the best, but I don't really have a problem because it kind of sticks out nice and proud. Good knife for the price. I'd definitely say I haven't bought a Sativian for quite a while, so maybe I wouldn't buy it again. But hey, it's a good knife. I mean, especially if that's your price range for a knife, $28, $27.99. Moving on, Ganzo, another one of those brands, and this one is well known. I mean, Ganzo is well known for really good quality for the price point. This one's, you're sporting a little bit more milling on the G10. Nice backspacer on it. Good jimping here. They really step it up at that lower price point. Wipe it off a little bit. It's got the little Firebird-ish kind of looking hand insignia. Nice liner lock, easy to get to. I mean, obviously these guys are taking a little time on their design to make it stand out. It's got a nice satin on it. Really nice. Sometimes you kind of look at knives like this and you kind of compare it to other knives you spend a lot of money on, and you just wonder. Obviously got a couple marks. I've had this one for quite a while. Grippiness is not aggressive at all, but it is there. Feels good in the hand. Feels good here. Clip gives you a little room to grab. Semi-deep carry. Doesn't flip. Mushrooms in the shade, as bees would say. But yeah, action's great. Kind of swings down with a little shake. We're talking about Ganzo Firebird, liner lock D2 steel, and you can see that's the most I kind of get on a D2 is little marks like that. G10 handles, Ganzo. Moving on. How am I doing? 33 minutes. So yeah, I figured I'm going to go over a minute per knife, so it's just the way it's going to be. And let's see what we got next. Gear Bug. I grabbed it and I realized it is the next one. This is a funny knife. This was like a Kickstarter or something along the lines, but it's a different company, not Kickstarter, but somebody else like that. Ordered it. Yeah, you know, everybody was kind of questioning, hey, when is this going to come out? This is another one of these ones with the magnet that swings out, but as you swing it out, you can see the gears move. And I think these are being made by Rake now, because I see it at the shows. So they must have bought the design. This is called Gearbug Darkness. So Gearbug, at least at the time, that's who was making them. And it's not the cleanest grinds. or anything, but obviously it's a necklace type thing. It looks really cool. I'll wear this a lot at like shows and stuff like that, and get a lot of comments about it. But yeah, little dagger action. So anyway, there's the Gearbug Darkness. The steel on this one is D2. It's what do I got? It says titanium. Yeah, I think this is actually titanium. Let me get a magnet real quick. I know it's a long video, guys, so you can watch it in parts if you want. If you're gonna do that, you probably already am, or already are. No, I don't think that's titanium. Sorry. It looks like the magnet's sticking to it, so it's steel. I could change that on my spreadsheet. Okay, moving on. We got Kizer in the under $30 category. That guy over here. Close this guy up. Got to be consistent. Oh, by the way, on this guy, it has no clip. It's a pocket dropper. Fifth pocket for sure. Moving on to the Kizer. I picked this one up, and it was a bunch of knives that were either like being phased out or something, but they were selling them for like 20 bucks. One show that I was at. Got a great front flipper. This is called the Infinity. Nice looking knife. I really thought for 20 bucks, I thought it was really good. They normally go for $29.50, so you know it's about a third off. And I was planning on doing it for a giveaway, but kind of liked it. In 690 blade steel, so I ended up kind of absorbing it into the collection. It may be one of those knives that like as a second knife in a giveaway coming up. Look for giveaways after Blade Show. I'm not moving up in the subs too fast, no big deal, but I'm going to do more giveaways just because I like to do them. It looks like an Azo design. So we got the Infinity N690 liner lock, leaf shaped blade, G10 handles, and very nice. Kizer in the under 30 category. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. What's next? The Duke. The Duke. Seems like the name of the knife maker and the name of the knife is the same. This one was made in France, and there's a whole big story. I don't have time to really get into it. It does have kind of a cool sound to it when it opens up, because it is like this one here, where it's kind of like a folded sheet metal, but this one's steel. It's got a little dude on there. Cool knife. Got some engraving on the blade. You know, not super high quality, but not bad at all. Very simple design. It's got the half stop and everything. It's so it's a regular slip job. It's got this little hook thing on the end. Little clevis sort of thing. Yeah, it's cool and an interesting knife for the collection. We're talking about, like I said, it's the Duke. That's what I call it. It's Duke is the name of the company. Duke is the name of the knife. Slip joint carbon steel blade, clip point, carbon steel handle, and it's made in France. All right, next, a Civivi. So we had a Kizer, now we got a Civivi. This is a really good one. This is an incredible deal in my mind. I picked this up when it first came out at one of the shows before it was available. The Mini Praxis. Sorry for the coughing. Great ergos on this one. Mini Praxis, liner lock. Sorry, D2 blade, drop point, G10 handles. Price $29.75. So we're getting close to that $30 range. Yeah, really great blade shape. Nice look to that blade. Obviously, Civivi, just like Kizer, is putting out good quality on their knives. Action's great. Smaller knife for me, but it feels really good in the hand. If I got that choke up point with that finger choil, which is a really good finger choil, it doesn't really give you much chance for getting cut on that little heel, and just feels really good in the hand. I really like this knife. One of my favorites in this price range, Civivi Mini Praxis. All right, I got 3 more to go, guys. Hang in there if you can. Back to a Rough Rider. This one impresses me. Look at, it's just well made. You know, no gapping, nice look, a little scratched up, gets dropped in the pocket. It's called the One Arm Razor. It's got this razor kind of thing. Did a video on it with some of my straight razors that I used to shave with. This one obviously doesn't get used for shaving, but it's got that whole concept of the one arm razor where people who had lost their limbs at wartime or otherwise could have this and clip into this part here, like in a pocket or something, or anything that you could just grab on and open it with one hand. And then it's got another normal clip point blade as well. I don't have too many multi-knife slip joints, but I thought that's really cool. I think I saw this one, yeah, on Tim's School of Fish. He's got some great slip joints that he shows. And yeah, for the price, which is $29.88, just under that $30 mark. It's just really good fit and finish. Pins, the bolsters, all that stuff just looks really nice. I like that. Always like that brass and steel, stainless steel kind of look. Really cool. All right, so we got the Rough Rider. Back to CRKT, and this is the only fixed blade on this list at under 30. It's got a little Kydex sheath. It came as a neck knife originally. I told you I'm not that much in the neck things, so I got these little, so I can carry it kind of appendix carry. I got these little loops on there. Works pretty well. Pops off with a thumb, pushes it out. It's got that little buoy kind of look to it, clip point. We're talking about, oh, the one arm razor. Got to go back here for 440A. It's a bear head trapper is what it's called, and it's got bone handles. This one here is the Minimalist. They were very popular for a while. They got these finger grooves again. I don't have a problem with it. It fits my hand. 5CR, 15 MOV. Clip point, micarta. So a little micarta, which is pretty good. You really don't need a lot of gripping with it because those, your fingers get in there. And then you got that little lanyard on there that really works to kind of wrap your pinky around. Tiny little knife. Fun little small fixed blade. Price on this, $29.95 at the time that I priced it on my... All these prices are back when I was looking up prices to put it on my spreadsheet. And... where? All right. Next is the JSWS. I saw this on Freedom Frog's channel. Amazon. Kind of reminds me a little bit of this one here from Ozark Trail. This one's a little more expensive, $29.99, 95, or sorry, 99, $29.99. Camp folding knife. It's got that very clever naming. 440C, drop point, G10. And yeah, I kind of bought it on a whim. I don't think I'd buy it again. Not sure I'd even give it away. It's kind of like a little lower quality, but anyway, it's in the collection right now. JSWS. All right, moving along. Which one is this? All right. Now, on my list, I got 2 more Stativians. I only have 1 more out here. So I guess the next one's going to have to get moved up to the over $30 price point. This is the ST132 D2 blade, drop point, G10 handle, $29.99. One that's on Beez's channel. Kind of like that little, kind of makes me a little Jamaican kind of look to it. Or maybe that's like sails on a sailboat or something. Anyway. Basic knife. Don't know if you can... Oh yeah, you can flick off the fuller. That's always a plus as far as I'm concerned. Maybe hard to do, but it works. Blade looks nice. Nice satin blade. We're talking about... Oh, I do have that knife. Hang on, I'll be able to find the other Sativian. D2 blade. Drop point, G10. And that one might find its way into a giveaway. And I know I got this one right here. Forgot to get it out because it comes in a slip. This one was given to me by a friend at work. This guy that would listen to me talk about knives, and I'd show him my knives that I got, and he was interested enough to take the time. So I bought him a knife for his birthday, and he picked this one up for me, probably for my birthday or something like that. It's one of these Sativians that it's got the Damascus San Mai sort of thing. We're talking about a probably a VG10, core. When you see that kind of pattern like that, you have a core that's in there, and they have two slabs of Damascus on the outside for the look. This is the ST217. Wood handle. I like a wood handle knife. I do. I think the look is really, really good. Very smooth, but good. It feels okay. It's kind of small for me. I just love the fact that he bought this for me. I thought it was really cool. We used to talk about Damascus. He was like into it. Obviously, this is a less expensive version, but you can flick it off these cutouts here really well. It does have a flipper tab that works, but anyway, cool knife. It's got this little lanyard thing because, when you have it in here, I think it was longer and it's kind of cheap little leather. Maybe I'll replace it sometime with something more significant to help you pull it out of the slip. All right, that's it. I did manage to get them all in. 30 knives under $30. Part one of the collection. I don't know how fast I'll get these out. I'd like to get the whole collection done before Blade Show. We'll see if that works out. 47 minutes, super long video. So, there'll probably be less and less as we get up into the higher value knives. But I don't know how many parts it's going to be either. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching if you watched. If you like collection videos like me, you probably enjoyed it. Even though there's some weird, quirky stuff here, it's kind of fun. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it here, and I will see you on the next one.